Nobody talks about how hard it is to rebuild yourself when life breaks you down. So today, I'll do that for you. We are going to put back the pieces, one decision and action at a time. Hey, Royal Family, welcome to the front row with myself, Roanna Mudley. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. This is a channel where I talk about all things self-development. This topic is so close to my heart because I have had to rebuild myself numerous times from scratch. And these tried and tested methods is what I want to share with you today. Chapter 1, Dissection. Before rebuilding, you need to know your foundation. What are your values? What do you stand for? Who are you as a person? Who are you in the workforce? Who are you in your personal life? And who are you when you're alone? When you start knowing yourself better is when you start understanding what you actually need. And it is so important to do this kind of reflection because it truly sets the precedence for who you are, what you are about, and how you want to show up in the world. I was always confused by the question, who are you? And I didn't know how to answer that. I mean, it is a difficult question, right? If you really think about who am I, you usually default to I am a doctor, I am a lawyer, I am an accountant, I am a marketer. But that's just what you do. It's not who you are. And so I wanted to really find out what I truly stand for because that's who I am. What I truly want to be in this world. What's truly within myself. And I know for me to be the highest, truest, best version of myself, there's some work that I needed to do. I learned a method in university called the SWOT analysis, which stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And in business, I often do the SWOT analysis to dissect the market further and to understand what I'm dealing with, especially when I'm putting marketing plans and marketing strategies together. So I thought, what if I use the SWOT analysis for myself? What would happen? I dissected myself according to my strengths, my weaknesses, my opportunities, and my threats. I looked at my strengths. What is it that I'm really good at without needing too much assistance? And I wrote that down under strengths. Then I looked at my weaknesses. What are the things that are holding me back? What are the things that I don't do very well, that I could perhaps improve, or that I'm just bad at it and there possibly won't be an improvement in that area? And I wrote it down under weaknesses. For opportunities, I asked myself the question, what are the opportunities I have in the space that I want to fill up? So in my work environment, what opportunities do I have? In my personal environment, what opportunities do I have? I ask myself, what is it that I can act on right now that will propel me in both my personal and my work life? What doors were available to me and how could I open those doors and make it beneficial for me? Lastly, I looked at threats. What are the self-sabotaging traits that I have? What things in my environment, both in work and in personal, are seen as a threat? What environments need improving? And once I completed my SWOT analysis, I read all the strengths, all my weaknesses, all the threats, and all the opportunities that I had written down. And suddenly, it started to paint a clearer picture of where I actually stood. It started to create a baseline for me to work on. I knew what I needed to work on. I knew what could possibly be something that I'm scared of, or something that's self-sabotaging, or an environment that didn't serve me well. I also knew what opportunities I could act on. And I knew what my strengths were. And I used my strengths to build on what I needed to achieve. Using my strengths, trying to diminish my weaknesses and threats, and taking the opportunities is how I got my foundation to be stronger and to be more resilient to take on life's challenges. Doing this SWOT analysis or self-reflection on myself really opened up my mind to seeing exactly what is happening currently. And I started to recognize things that were not very obvious to me. I also began to see my situation for exactly what it is. And that was a pivotal step in me rebuilding myself. Chapter 2, Inspection. After I did the SWOT analysis, I then started to do some deep reflection. I looked at my personal life, I looked at my work life, I looked at my social life, and I looked at my spiritual life. And I started to reflect on what was working and what was not. It was almost as if I could do a SWOT analysis on every area of my life and find the strengths and find the weaknesses and the opportunities and the threats. And it allowed me to ask myself the questions: what do I want? What don't I want? What do I love? What don't I love? Who do I like to spend time with? Who don't I like to spend time with? What are my values? What do I stand for? What are the things that are close to my heart? What are the things that irk me? What are the things that is a non-negotiable for me? Understanding my foundation became more clearer as I started to look within myself and ask myself these questions. It then became very easy for me to put a self-development plan for myself. Because I had done the SWOT analysis, then I had done the self-reflection, and I asked the questions of what I like and what I don't like. I then found it easier to figure out how to develop myself better. And I realized that it was absolutely important for me to develop my mind. It was absolutely important for me to develop my soul. And it was absolutely important for me to take care of my well-being. And so I started to put a plan together that spoke to all three: mind, body, and soul. For my mind, I knew that meditation was something that helped me and made me feel peaceful. It made me feel at home. It made me feel whole, and it gave me some clarity when I was in stressful moments in life. And so I try and incorporate meditation as regularly as possible. I would love to do meditation every single day as a non-negotiable, but I'm also not so rigid with myself, because as a working mom, it's so difficult to maintain a routine. So if I'm very rigid with myself and I say I have to do something, I feel more anxiety about it, especially on the days that I miss it because I have other things to do. So I flipped that and I said to myself, I will meditate as much as I can, as regularly as I can in the time that I am in now, because I need to feel good about my life as it stands in this current state and not feel like I am compelled to do something or I have to do something, because that rigidity is the thing that will not work and I won't want to do it anymore. Then for my body, I knew that taking a walk outside in the sun was very important. I found out recently that my vitamin D was low, and so I made it a point to go out in the sun. And when I was doing that, I realized that I actually enjoy this a lot. So whenever the sun is out, even if it is a cold winter's day, I try and make it a point to go outside and get even 5 minutes of sunshine, because that helps me feel better and it helps me feel more connected to who I am. It also makes me feel really happy. And then for my soul, I know that prayer is important to me. I know that I want to have a connection with a higher purpose. I believe that there is a higher purpose that is far greater than what I know possible. And because I believe in a universal power, I know that I have to find a way to align my soul with a greater power. The only way I know how to do that is via prayer. And so I didn't want to also make that a chore, and I try and do prayer whenever I can. So when I want to play a devotional music, wherever I am, that's where I'll listen to it before I sleep maybe, or when I'm praying in the morning by our prayer area, then that's my form of spiritual connection. I find that when I devote time to my spirituality and devoting time to a higher power, it gives me the liberation I need, and it gives me some sort of contentment and happiness, because I have been in situations where I didn't pray as regularly and I didn't connect to a higher power. And because I didn't do that, I did feel lost, and I didn't feel like I had purpose, or I didn't feel I had direction or answers. And so me connecting to a higher power that I know takes care of me, that makes things happen for me, is something that's very close to my heart. And I want that to be infectious to other people. When you are in a state of rebuilding, or just before you're about to rebuild your life, you feel lost. You feel like you have nowhere to turn. And the little light that gleams through, that gives you the hope, is where prayer resides. And that's why I turn to prayer, especially in my time of need. I know that you shouldn't be praying only in times of need, but I think it becomes more of a need when you are going through it. Because when I'm happy and I'm praying, it's a different kind of prayer when I am stressed and I'm lost and I'm praying. And I think that when I'm stressed and I'm lost and I'm praying in that type of mindset, the prayer is the thing that gives me hope. Chapter 3, evaluation. So now we've done the dissection, and from the dissection, we've learned things about ourselves. We have a foundation. We know what our strengths strengths are, we know what our weaknesses are, our opportunities, our threats. We also know what you stand for, we know what we don't like, we know what we like. After doing all of that dissection, we now can evaluate and see what is it that we can rebuild as quickly as possible. Do we need to improve a skill? If we do need to improve a skill, do we need to register for a course? Are there free courses available? Are there videos that I can watch that can help me with the skill? Are there people that I can talk to that will help me with the skill? What kind of knowledge do I have, especially in the workplace? Do I need to increase my knowledge base? If you are a medical doctor, do you have the latest technology to help patients with? If you are an accountant, do you understand the latest methods of accounting systems that you can help your clients with? If you're a marketer like me, understanding the different algorithm changes, what's happening on the social media front, how is AI affecting my marketing currently? Do I have the necessary knowledge to understand my craft better? And if the answer is no, then the next step is to find where you can increase your knowledge base. And the trick is to always have areas that you can gravitate to. So for example, I constantly read articles from Biz Community and HubSpot and news articles that I have Google alerts on that give me information regularly so I can stay in the know. Then personally, how am I going to improve my social skills? If I want to expand my friend base, how am I connecting with different people? How am I networking? Am I putting myself in situations where I can meet the right kind of people to grow my circle? Spiritually, are you in the same spot as you were spiritually? Are you someone that even prays? Are you someone that is connecting with a higher force? If you are not, what can you do to start that connection? Do you need to visit an ashram? Do you need to go to a temple? Do you need to go to a church, a mosque? Do you need to speak to someone? Do you need to read a particular book? Do you need to just watch a YouTube video? Find the thing that's calling for you and go in that direction. Because whatever you are evaluating, you should have something that you want to improve in it. Whether it's spirituality, your personal development, whether it's at work, whether it's socially, there is something that you can improve every single year. And it's important to build on those different areas from the foundational phase because it strengthens who you are as a person. It makes you live life fuller and it helps you to get through hard times better because you're in a developing mindset all the time or you're in a growth mindset all the time. Chapter 4, the rebuild. So this is the most exciting chapter because this is where you take all the information and you start rebuilding your life from it. You take your dissection chapter and everything that you've done in the dissection chapter and you use that as a tool to rebuild your life and put a plan together. How are you going to achieve it? When do you want to achieve it by? And this is where you want to actually put a SMART goal in place because once you have a SMART goal, you have a clearer vision of when you want to achieve something and the anxiety goes away because you know how long it's going to take. Whether it's going to take you 5 months or 5 years, you have a clearer picture of how realistically you can achieve that particular goal. And go full steam ahead because you have nothing to lose. And stay consistent with the plan that you put in place. However, you find a way to stick to a plan that is consistent to help you rebuild your life, to help you come out of the darkness and into the light, is where you will succeed. You can always rebuild yourself no matter which stage of life you are in. Just by following these simple methods, you can always find a way to improve yourself, to rebuild, and to connect with your better, higher, truer self. I'm so glad that I was able to share this with you. It means so much to me for me to be able to share some of the things that has helped me to rebuild my life and make my life better for me. And I really want to hear how these methods help you. If you loved this video, then do check out my next video where I give you the tools to empower yourself to thrive. I thank you so much for watching till the end. I'll catch you on the next video. Cheers.